I never thought I'd live through a moment where the person I trusted most would deliberately make me the center of a cruel joke. The woman I married, the one I believed would always have my back, turned me into entertainment for her friends. It didn't happen out on the street or at some party. It happened inside my own home. It was a Friday evening. My wife had invited her girlfriends over for wine, snacks, and endless chatter. I didn't mind. I've always believed she deserved her own time and space, so I gave them the living room while I stayed in the kitchen, fixing myself something to eat. The laughter drifting from the other room grew louder as the night went on, but I didn't pay much attention at first. Then my name started slipping into their conversations. At first, it was little things. How I forget to put the toothpaste cap back on, or the time I tried fixing the sink and nearly flooded the bathroom. They all laughed. I could take that. A little teasing doesn't bother me. But then one of her friends asked a question that changed everything. If I was good at fixing things, was I good at everything? My wife smirked. Without even hesitating, she replied, "Let's just say he's not exactly enough where it matters." The room exploded with laughter. Wine glasses shook in their hands. Some women leaned forward with tears in their eyes from laughing so hard. I froze in the doorway, chest tight, throat dry. My private life had just been reduced to a punchline. When our eyes met, I expected her to regret it, to take it back, to at least look apologetic. Instead, she smirked again, as though I was supposed to laugh along. I turned away and went back to the kitchen. My hands trembled with anger. Part of me wanted to shout, to demand she stop, to let her know how deeply she had cut me. But instead, I kept quiet. I chose a different path. If she thought humiliating me was funny, then she needed to learn what it felt like when the laughter turned the other way. So I waited. The night carried on. They shifted to talking about men, about relationships, about desires and complaints. When they all got up to take a bathroom break, I slipped into the living room and quietly gathered a few stories my wife would never want her friends to hear. When they returned, I sat calmly in the middle of the group. The mood shifted instantly. One of her friends joked nervously about me finally joining them. That's when I began. I said, "It's interesting. I've been listening to the jokes about me tonight. I can laugh at myself. Sure. But since we're sharing, maybe everyone should know a few things too." Silence. My wife's eyes widened. She knew. I leaned back and told them about the night she burned dinner so badly the fire alarm blared, and I ate cereal so she wouldn't cry. They chuckled. Then I mentioned the time she accidentally sent a love message meant for me to her boss, and how I had to step in to save her from embarrassment. More giggles. Finally, I shared the one memory she dreaded most. The night she sang karaoke at a family party and was so painfully off-key her cousins begged her to stop. I even imitated her voice, the squeaks, the dramatic hand gestures. The room erupted. This time, the laughter was uncontrollable. But my wife wasn't laughing. Her face burned red, her jaw locked, and her eyes narrowed like knives aimed at me. She sat stiff while her friends clutched their stomachs in laughter. When they left, she slammed the door and spun on me. "How could you embarrass me like that?" she snapped. I looked at her evenly and said, "Now you know how it feels." She tried defending herself, saying it was just a harmless joke, that I was too sensitive, that I should have laughed along. I told her there's a line between light teasing and humiliation, and she had crossed it. That night, she went to bed without another word. I stayed on the couch, staring at the ceiling, wondering how our marriage had reached such a place. The next morning, her tone shifted. She admitted she'd gone too far, that she hadn't realized how much her words cut. She apologized genuinely. For the first time in a long time, I saw in her eyes that she finally understood. The apology didn't erase the wound, but it forced us both to face a truth. Respect isn't optional in a marriage. It's the foundation. And I learned that silence isn't always strength. Sometimes, the only way to stop disrespect is to stand up and make sure your voice is heard. So when people ask why I reacted the way I did, my answer is simple. My wife mocked me in front of her friends. She thought it was a joke until she saw my response. And that response changed everything.